Well, morning, fellow zombies. It's 1:34 in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. It's May 24th, 2023, Wednesday. The Weaver, John C., Roseman, California. The sleep-deprived and emotionally screwed up zombie. Ugh. Yeah, well. I could also mark this as the diary of the griever named John Weaver, which would be me. We're dealing with state and local issues and other personal issues that have been keeping me up at night these days. The closer we are getting to the budget, actually to the debt ceiling deadline, and hearing that the Republicans are not going to do a damn thing except play Nintendo and not do a damn thing about negotiations or anything, they're just stalling for time. They're looking forward to doing some gutting, and they're forcing Biden to do that, and he's not going to do that. If he does, he's going to be very unpopular at this point. If he starts gutting Medicare and Social Security just to appease the other people, in a way to avoiding or actually defaulting with the world's credit we owe people. And they won't go for the damn thing. It takes a while to get a bill written, apparently. Biden's got no choice. He's got to declare. The 14th Amendment has to be done. He has no choice. We can go around and argue about this damn thing all we want, but we have no choice. We cannot default on our loans. We will not. That's against the federal law right there. So now we got to deal with that. And they are screwing around with people's payments and livelihood, advancements, money owed to our own soldiers, our own military, our own people. Creditors will be on our ass if we default. Simply put, that the Republican Party has disappeared, replaced solely by the damn Trumplicans. The rest of the mainstream GOP hasn't fought or done a damn thing about it either. So if we go defaulting at this point, we are screwed. And I'll still blame the people of the United States for allowing this to happen, because they should have been putting more pressure on the damn politicians they voted into office. But apparently, if they're going to be that screwed up about it, then we ought to default. We need to. To prove a point that it's not that democracy failed, it's that the people failed to understand what democracy is all about, what the country, what the system, what everything that made our country the theoretical great thing. All these damn maggots kept saying, "Make America great again." It was already great. They just didn't bother to see it. So now we get to pay the price on this. And if we go by defaulting, God help every one of us. It's bad enough we've got state legislatures out there trying to deny health care, human decency, human kindness, safety, everything that we are supposed to be taking care of our country for. We can't even do that. We cannot do that because our damn egos and our own damn prides are acting the same damn way. So we're screwed, basically. We're screwed. We had state legislatures trying to debate issues on whether or not to limit access to certain weapons, or the age groups for certain weapons. And it's not happening. Oh, but one particular irony here. In order to make one particular southern state with a lone star on it to be more compliant with what Christ wanted, theoretically, no new business regarding Ten Commandments was ever passed. Except if the Republican Party in that state wanted to put up special sessions, maybe to install something that violates the First Amendment, violates the Bill of Rights, and the rights of all. Tonight I can claim a small victory on that one, indirectly. But what drives me crazy at this point is what we're going to be doing. This year is the first year anniversary of Uvalde shooting, Robb Elementary School. Was it one or two teachers died? A hell of a lot of kids died because of one lunatic kid with an AR-15 decided he was going to turn the whole place into a shooting gallery. He was going to do some major redecorating, depopulating the student body. Basically, one crazy student got in there for one damn reason. A lot older, he's 18, and he shoots up kids and the teacher. For what? Meanwhile, you had the adults outside with still waiting to get more heavy-duty firepower because the kid's got an AR-15 for over an hour. Over an hour. They know where the kid is, but they couldn't go in to get him because he's got an AR-15. Oh my God, we're scared. We got these big sheriff people, police, Texas Rangers. And what was it? Border Patrol goes in there and kills the kid? They had enough of it. And they go in and shoot the kid up. But the damage had already been done. 1 year later, we got a publishing company out there in conjunction with law enforcement and other agencies trying to allay parents' concerns and fears next time we get into a situation by handing out K through 12, or was it K through 6, in the state of Texas, books, how to survive school shootings. These parents are freaking out. They're talking with each other in the different groups and figuring out that this is the normal now in the United States. We are so enamored with the Second Amendment. It's beyond addiction. It's beyond addiction at this point. I've seen addiction try to kill people left or right, but this is shit. We're fanatical. We're fanatics in the United States. We must have our guns. We must have our weapons. We must have, not the quote-unquote ability to defend ourselves, the ability to kill each other. We must have it in the name of the Second Amendment. Screw God at this point over here. If God was here, we'd shoot him too. If Jesus were here, we say, "How you doing, Jesus?" and take a gun, and the cross would not be. No, the cross would just be shut up. Because our enamored love with the Second Amendment and guns. See, we have traded one master for another master. And in the Bible, they were talking about that. You're trading one master for another. You cannot serve two masters. Basically, if you're a greedy slob, if we're going to be using in this example here, let's say I'm a greedy, fanatical slob of Pop Tarts. I must have Pop Tarts. I must constantly have the Pop Tarts. Do you not understand? I must have my Pop Tarts. Nothing else matters but Pop Tarts. And God would come here, or probably Jesus says, you know, you could pass that out to people and they would be fed. No! These are mine! According to the U.S. Constitution, of whatever Constitution it is, of whatever kind of amendment it is, I am entitled to my Pop Tarts. You cannot have them. They are mine, they're not yours, even though I worship you like crazy and I appreciate the efforts. They're mine! I watched the Pop Tarts get squished in the action here, become broken, but it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter because they're mine. They're mine. They're worse than the one ring that rules them all. We must have this. Don't you understand? Now, if we put this in Lord of the Rings perspective at that point, here we go back in the story of the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings, where they're talking with the little shit. Give me 1 second here. Smeagol, who turned into Gollum. Gollum was this character that came out of Smeagol. It's the darker nature of him. Because the ring had been working on this guy, trying to get him out of the darkness to find Sauron. The asshole started everything. Who created the rings of power. Because evil told him to do so. And he became an embodiment of it. Yeah. Well, how's that for you? We've become addicted. Severely addicted. Worse than that. I've seen alcohol turn people into what they call wet brains. They can't stop from drinking. The chemical imbalances in their damn brains are so screwed up right now. There's no way to chemically fix these guys. The pleasure centers have been running on constant at this point over here. That apparently they got burned out somehow. And now we got to deal with this, don't we? We want our guns. We love our guns. We must have our guns. It doesn't matter if God was going to say, get rid of the guns. We're going to say, no, we want our guns. But you're supposed to follow me and my son. Lord, people are going to be coming over here shooting us. You got to stop them. I am God. Yeah, but are you going to do something about it? We can do all the prayers and thoughts, but we can't enact legislation. We can't enact self-control. We can't do anything to stop the love of guns from killing people left and right. Of course, people say, there are tools, they're just tools. It's people, it's people. Yeah, well, guess what? People make the tools. And even though we are responsible for the damn things, the tools are still out there that kill. I don't think God ever said, or actually Jesus ever said directly in the Bible that you human beings. Actually, he did. He did. In the Ten Commandments, it says, "Thou shalt not kill." And if you happen to put that into context with what the Sermon on the Mount was, or the thing about Yosemite, where Christ was contemplating what he's got to do next, and then he comes across Judas's betrayal right there with the kiss, and Peter comes up with his sword ready to do some damage. Now he's going to do some damage on the soldiers. He's going to protect Christ with his life. I think Christ would probably think, no, in one instance, I appreciate the loyalty and the faith and trust you put into me, but this is not the right way. In other words, it's telling Peter, put away the sword. Those who continue to use this sword is going to get killed by it, one way or another. I should have been putting it that way. And those who keep following the way of violence like that are going to be subjugated to it. What goes around comes around. Basically, karma. But karma is not helping us much. We keep seeing the bloody count rising every week. There's going to be another mass shooting here and there. There's going to be an anniversary coming up. There's going to be more anniversaries coming up. People are going to be mourning their kids, mourning their loved ones, and really not feeling comfortable with going into places left and right that public are. You know, even I will have an issue when I go back to college campus. How safe will I be there? Now, when I get over to campus and I'm starting a new class, I have to look at where the class is at, where the exits are, what are my options in case we run into a shooting situation, a barricaded situation. What are my options? What can I carry with me? What I can and can't carry with me. They don't allow any sharp weapons or any sharp devices. But they sure as hell will not object to anybody carrying a roll of duct tape. And here's the irony. My school doesn't carry any duct tape at all, not even with maintenance. So, when I go to school, I'm going to have to carry me a roll of duct tape. You'll never know if that stuff comes in handy or not until you need it. And then I got to find something to cut it with. Well, keys are usually useful. They don't exactly like X-Acto knives, but if they actually do sell them, well, then that's one thing. But they don't allow them on the campus. But they will give you scissors here and there at different places. That's not going to help you much if you're going to be barricaded. So that sucks. What else we got going? Well, you have to stock up your backpack with food and water. If necessary, you have to carry diapers of sorts. Older folks, I've discovered, have tendencies. Some of us actually have more control and others don't. Excess backup, you have to carry excess clothing and replacements just in case. It's disgusting to talk about, but it's there. So now, I have to worry about that. If I'm going to be caught in a place, I got to make sure that either I got a defensible situation over here, I got something to defend myself with, or I'm ready to get the hell out of here. And unfortunately, I am not a runner. I'm probably going to be a target, basically, because I can't move fast. But if I can, I'll try. And if I'm going to be trying to defend myself, I may kill the guy in the process. And I have to spend days in court or something like that to defend my actions. I'm not trained. I'm not trained in defending myself. But if push comes to shove, either I'm going to hide or I'm going to kill the son of a bitch. And then I'm going to be breaking the commandment at this point over here. Thou shalt not kill. Well, unfortunately, he's going to be dying. Or he's going to be dead. Then I got to reconcile that one with the boss man upstairs. Christ says, Those who live by the sword shall die by the sword. Well, I don't live by the damn sword. I don't. My sword, to me, is words. Is words. Communication is my sword. If I can effectively communicate with a person, fine. But if I can't, well then, I'm pretty poor at it then. But I know I'm going to be screwed up one way or another. I'm not looking forward to it. And I'm not looking forward to putting it into a test. But I'll tell you one thing. If I really had to make this thing really secure, I still got plenty of duct tape. And it does hurt when something actually lands on top of your face or in the groin. And I don't want to do this, but I got to do this. I'll have no choice. I prefer using a baseball bat, but I can't. It works just as well. As long as I get the damn thing secured enough, and then I can make it into a weapon. But now to accept it as norm. I'm going to be walking into a store. I'm going to be walking into a place, and now I got to figure out whether or not who's going to be the next schmuck who's going to try to kill me. I got to live with that fear for a long time now. I got no choice. We're making it normalized. We're making it normalized where somebody can bring a gun to any place at any time and shoot up the place. And we've come adjusted to it. We're worse than the wild, wild west. We're comfortably numb with it. Comfortably numb. How does that grab you? It doesn't grab me. But I gotta live with it. I gotta deal with it. But I don't want it. I don't like seeing places. I don't like seeing kids shot up. It was bad enough when we actually had one student in a Florida high school. Days afterwards, he's pissed. He's angry. He just survived a hell of a shooting situation at his own school. He's making waves. And then it gets to a point where you've got some foul-mouthed assholes out there trying to belittle him left and right. He gets to a point where he's going to talk to his congresspeople about this. He's going to go over to the state. He's going to see his senators and representatives of his state, and then lay it on the line with these assholes. Going up to a subcommittee and talk about it. That's what he was going to do. And who decides to harangue his ass? A certain foul-mouthed psycho woman from Georgia, who is a representative of their state. And she harangues this kid. And she goes around haranguing everybody else in Congress. I know there's a lot of stories about this twit. And other people who think and believe the same way she does. And Mr. David Hogg was trying to tell people what the hell the reality was that they have to face. And future generations and past generations still face. And nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit because nothing was done. Oh, a lot of hot air, but there was no action. No bills authored. No signage or sign off in the House and the Senate. And something sent over to the President at the time. Nothing. No. Business as usual. So the body count continues. You know, back in the 80s, it took an nearly assassination of a president and a couple of other advisors. One got brain damaged, but still managed to do a cooling off period bill. They call it the Brady Bill. I remember James Brady. There's one asshole who wanted to prove his love to an actress by assassinating a sitting president. How the hell did we ever get ourselves in this situation? I don't know. How we're going to get ourselves out of these situations? Well, apparently the American people are totally brain dead at this point. Otherwise, we would have had a lot more reaction. And right now, nobody gives a shit. They'll bitch and gripe about it enough, but no, that's not enough. I said it before in one of my earlier videos. We're not done yet. We're not bloodied enough. We don't have enough body out there. We don't have enough mass graves. We don't have enough crematoriums going. We're not all dead yet. And by that time, if we are all dead, it's been too late. Because we were dumb enough not to do a damn thing about it. Welcome to America.